When they do that weird thing with their neck. Trying to get the right angle. You do that?
I don't.
Good for
I
you.
don't. I'm really bad at selfies. My cousin always has to take them if we're in the same picture. But I'm getting good at my like Instagram angle and like the things that I say. Like, oh, do you guys like this eyeshadow? Like it's that ridiculous.
My friend Cameron Haynes loves you. He saw you on Fox News. He's like, who's this girl? She's making so much sense. He's like super hardcore conservative.
Yeah.
So he likes when anyone is like young and conservative. He like loves Ben Shapiro. He loves all that shit.
Yeah.
So he got excited about you.
Yeah, people have been really excited. I think it's just because I'm really unapologetically myself, and today that's like, it's like seeing an alien.
Miss Owens, obviously this is a gang up on you. You know, we're giving these witnesses the ability to do a rebuttal on you, and so you know, I find it unfair, Miss Ballou. I mean, you know, candidly, for you to show mutual respect and then you to go after Miss Owens, it's not appropriate. So, Miss Owens, you can have 4 minutes and 34 seconds to respond. However,
I'm gonna yield for a second.
I'll yield to.
Thank you. I believe, Miss Owens, when you used the word hilarious, it was referencing the fact that no one had asked you a question. It wasn't to the subject matter of the hearing. Is that right?
That is correct.
And to have another witness insinuate something that is not accurate is just not appropriate, Mr. Chairman, for how witnesses are supposed to behave in front of this committee. I also think you didn't say it doesn't matter about the subject matter of today's hearing. You said there are other subjects that matter as well, and maybe we should spend some time on those. Is that accurate?
That is correct, and they matter much, 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 much more. And I have said that. I said that in my opening, and I will say it again. You know that white supremacy and white nationalism is ranks nowhere near the top of the issues that are facing Black America. And the reason that you are bringing them up in this room is because it is an attempt to make the election all about race, as the Democrats.
Not in my case, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry. Please do not characterize my motive.
Mr. Chairman, it's my time.
Yeah, it's my time. You've got your time, Mr. Meadows. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, which you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is. Because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be, so that you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christchurch shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce, and it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years, and I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle, and it needs to stop. That in this day and age, we need but push a button to demand change. If you think about it, we don't even have to leave our bedrooms to inspire the political climate. But you have to wonder, is that always necessarily a good thing? A colleague of mine presented a very interesting question when she asked me, have you ever noticed how issues seem to sweep through social media like hurricanes and then recede almost as quickly as they came? She was absolutely right, of course. I mean, I couldn't think of a single one of my friends who used that hashtag Pray for Paris beyond the first couple of days before they were on to the next social issue that required their immediate aggressive attention, because we need to know, is Tom Brady guilty of hashtag Deflategate? And I mean, are
The hashtag Oscars so white. And for the love of God, people, is Donald Trump a hashtag racist, sexist, victim, hero, the next president of the United States, or Hitler? I don't know. Because it's here today and it'll be gone tomorrow. Welcome to this generation of activism.
Since President Trump took office, black unemployment has hit an historic low and currently sits at about 6.7%. And by the way, he's not satisfied with that. He wants it a lot lower, but still pretty great. The number of African Americans employed is up more than 4%, and the most stunning of all, African American wages, this is my favorite, are up more than 9%.
Well, look, I think the president is doing something different. Definitely his tone is different because he tells the truth and he doesn't pander to black America. He hasn't offered us hot sauce, he's offered us jobs. That makes many people uncomfortable because they're from an era where race hustling is a business. They're used to telling black Americans that they're victims, writing books about victimhood, and that is no longer selling in America. And I just wanted to comment back on saying that xenophobia is something that black Americans are afraid of. Xenophobia means that you have a fear, Mr. West, of foreigners. Black Americans are not foreigners in this country. We are a piece of the American dream. We've earned a piece of this American dream, and we're getting tired of people telling us that we are somehow separate of it. And that's really what I have to say. We're doing tremendous under this presidency. There is no candidate that is offering anything on the left to counter what Trump has offered. They're just offering more rhetoric, more fear-mongering, and unfortunately, time is up on this narrative. We are ready to move on and embrace our futures. Gotta keep away from evil spirits.
So that's what you used?
Yeah. Yeah, I just like read weird articles and then I'm like, I'm not gonna drink anymore, I'm done, I'm over it. And then I realized, like, who else doesn't drink? Like, the most, like, successful, like, Donald Trump has never drank alcohol, which is just fascinating because I'm like, I don't know.
You could use a drink. Just tell that dude to sit down and relax.
He's got so much energy, right? Like, he's just, like, going at it. And I'm like, maybe that's the secret. Charlie Kirk doesn't drink. He's, like, 24 years old and taking over the world. So, I don't know.
Who else?
Don Trump Jr. doesn't drink.
Doesn't?
Doesn't.
No?
I mean, he did. Like, I used to drink. I don't mean to, but he doesn't drink. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess the people that I'm around now don't drink, so it makes it easier. But they're just like highly productive individuals, and I'm now like highly productive. Kim Kardashian doesn't drink.
I want to get to this. The prevailing wisdom, I think Dr. West, highlighted this, is that the race relations have deteriorated almost under this president. That's the thought. And that Obama was the great racial healer. Yet, in a new study by a pair of sociologists at UPenn, this is not some conservative outlet, they found that, quote, anti-black prejudice declined by a statistically insignificant degree between 2012 and 2016. But then after 2016, it took a sharp dive. There was also a general fall in anti-Hispanic prejudice, too. So, Professor West, to what do you attribute these findings? So, prejudice is on the downswing, not on the upswing, at least in these first few years of Trump.
Well, based on this particular study, I'd have to examine how they gather their evidence and so forth. But anti-Jewish attacks, anti-Muslim attacks, anti-Mexican attacks, and not just anti-black attacks, but also the police departments, the militarizing of the police departments, the withdrawal of the investigations when police do, in fact, shoot fellow citizens, whatever color they are, but disproportionately chocolate,
but that was happening
black
under Obama.
And brown.
Right, that was
absolutely.
Under Obama, like
That's
Ferguson
true.
and
That's
all
true.
That stuff, right?
That's true.
It's not just
I'm just talking about continuities.
That's
yeah,
I'm talking about continuities.
Right. I do want to share this. This was a moment that I think, again, going back to what Candace has worked on and spoken about, and what Dr. West, I think you two could actually be happy about together. Happened at the White House, I think it was last month, and it was an event commemorating the First Step Act. Let's watch.
And I really thank you for signing that bill. Yeah. When y'all passed this, I could have fell through the floor.
I'm an example of a woman who has been given a second chance in life.
And it's an experience that I never forget.
2 months ago, I was in a prison cell, and I'm in the White House. Let's continue to make America great again.